Welcome to Walt Disney World Clicks. I'm your host Kevin, and this week we are starting over at Universal. Now we are at CityWalk at the moment, near the area that was once an Environment Earth store, kind of underneath this walkway. As you can see, they're doing some expansion there, as well as around the corner at the former Pasamore area, now being expanded as well with the eateries kind of pushing out into the zone here. You'll see that they're advertising Vivo, an Italian kitchen, as one of the options coming to this particular corner, and Cowfish, sushi, burger, and bar coming in that same zone. Now, also further along in CityWalk, they've got this Universal store, which is normally takes up this building in the back, pushed out into a temporary building here. They've got walls up. You can see part of the reason why in the background. And Ojitos is a new Mexican restaurant that is kind of vividly colored, and it's not open yet, although it looks like it might open at any given point. So kind of jumping around time of day here to put all of the restaurant pictures in one spot. This is what it looks like illuminated in the evening. We weren't able to go into the restaurant. This is an outdoor patio here, but you're able to see what the decorations look like and the kind of vivacious vibe they're going for, really, with all of those lights everywhere. Now, just opposite this this new Mexican restaurant is a hot dog place, the Hot Dog Hall of Fame. This is the Groove Dance Party, which is in the former Chahaceria, the Brazilian steakhouse, which was there in its place previously. And I'm not sure if this Fat Tuesday bar was always there. It struck me as new. Anyway, because the stage normally used for acts and entertainment was taken over by that construction area, they've now got the water stage kind of a more prominent usage in its lineup at the moment. Stepping into the Universal Studios Park, we ran into the Hogwarts Train. Now you can see it's been parked on this expressway, this elevated railway for some time now. We've seen it there before, so I've not seen it in motion. I'm not sure if others have. They do have a lot of details on it. It's not the same one that was parked over in Islands of Adventure. That's just a decoration. This is an actual train. Now, the rumor is that you won't look out these windows because that's backstage roads. In fact, that what you might be seeing from the inside looks like windows, but you're actually looking at view screens. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work given what we see here. There's no particular clues looking into the train in either direction. We don't really see any particular technology for how that might be the case. Now, the Universal Studios park itself, of course, is the home to Diagon Alley expansion, and they've recently removed all of that scaffolding from the outside. So you can see that although there are still some decorations to be done and some finishing work to be completed, the walls are up, but the scrims themselves are down. So we'll take a kind of broader look here. As you can see, that it's this is the London side that we're looking at. Now, obviously, what's meant to happen is that we pass through somehow to Diagon Alley, and the London side would just be facades. You can see some of the fine detail work they're doing, shot taken from quite a distance. Here's where actually the workers are at. Again, some of that fine detailing you can see with the telephoto lens. Now, one of the buildings over on the far right side, however, appears to be pure facade in the usual Universal Studios direction. So I'm not sure if they intend to fix that. It would kind of be a little bit different for Universal's Harry Potter worlds if they didn't fix that, because normally the worlds are immersive and not reminding that you're in a movie set. Again, some of the facades visible as facades in the Harry Potter area. Now, this is meant to be the train station, one assumes, given this archway here, and the fact that the railway comes into this building in the back here. Now, to my eyes, however, it looks like these might be, in fact, two different buildings. This is the London train station. Maybe we're meant to go through platform 9 3/4 or something, and then go into the actual train loading zone for the trains in the back here. I haven't heard how many trains are going to run. One assumes they've got at least 2, so they can shuttle back and forward all the time. I wonder if perhaps they might even go as many as 4. Maybe they'll have extra berths so they could have one always loading even when another one is pulling in. That would mean extra track space within the buildings, and I haven't yet seen how they intend to have the train turn around. Maybe there's going to be round tables in those buildings. One of the central features here, sort of in the middle of the block looking at it here, caught my eye because the archway or the column space gave rise to a rather large opening, and perhaps this is a way that people could walk in. And so I took my telephoto lens and looked a little deeper into it and saw, well, you can actually see a little bit here. I wonder what that is. And so if we reposition ourselves out where we are in the public guest spaces and look down that same corridor, we see this. So a sign for the Leaky Cauldron, which of course is the London town entrance into Diagon Alley for Harry in the first movie, advertised to go a certain direction. Now, moving just slightly further from there, however, just around that wall. So this is what we saw a moment ago with the Leaky Cauldron sign on this gray wall. And then on the other side of that gray wall is this building outlined in green. And if you zoom in, you can just make out Flourish and Plots. Now, this is an establishment inside Diagon Alley. It's where Harry Potter meets Gilderoy Lockhart in the second book. And so somehow we must make the transition between right here and right here. So this might be an early transition point. Or perhaps this is never meant to be opened air like this. It's going to be sealed up later on. But we appear to be able to peer with a telephoto lens directly into Diagon Alley at this point. So just a wider angle shot of where we were. This is that passageway we were peering down. You can see the Leaky Cauldron sign over there and the Flourish and Blots signage to the left of it. There's another shot of the Flourish and Blot signage with some earth-moving equipment in the front. Haven't seen Bumblebee out during the daytime before. I think he's always been there near the Transformers area. They also brought out Megatron shortly after this shot was done. So I just think it's a really interesting and well-conceived meet-and-greet concept for the Transformers area. We briefly touched over into Islands of Adventure as well. They were at the end of ports of entry. This used to be the Cinnabon shop, and as you can tell by the stylized wooden carving, in fact, it's going to be a Starbucks now. So there's signage in the front calling it Starbucks. It's not ready to open yet, but it looks like it could be done at any point. Cinnabon, in the meantime, has moved around the corner from there and is now closer to the Hulk coaster. Switching parks yet again, we are at Busch Gardens Tampa, where they are building a very tall, 300-foot tall tower. This is going to be a drop ride where you will go, in fact, face down from the drop, called Falcon's Fury. And this is a shot from across the train, the Serengeti, so you can see how much taller this thing is than SheiKra, which alone has a pretty terrifying drop, I have to say. It appears to be about only halfway up from where you will be if you're going on this Falcon's Fury directly. So as you can see, Falcon's Fury is located in the Timbuktu area, and reportedly that height that we saw there is now topped out. It's not getting any taller than that. While I was in Tampa, we took in the Monster Jam. This is a monster truck event, and the reason I'm mentioning it here is that it's coming to Orlando this particular Saturday. So if you're watching this before the 25th, you still have a chance to check out the Monster Jam show coming to the Citrus Bowl, where in the pit party you can meet the drivers, you can meet the trucks ahead of time, and then once the show itself begins, obviously you're going to be treated to what you would expect at a monster truck show, meaning there's going to be races, time trials basically, where they go over these jumps and try to maneuver around things, and there's usually two of them going at once, so it's a lot of jumping and air time and so forth. And then in the second half, more aerobatic things like acrobatic things, like this troupe of motorcycle competitors who go for big jumps and do all sorts of tricks going off of those big jumps. Here is completely inverted. And then finally comes the freestyle competition. Now that's where all the trucks each have 90 seconds or so to smash and crash and jump over things and really try to please the crowd. They climb over things and blow them up, and sometimes they tip over as a result, and sometimes they almost tip over and pull themselves back out of it. Now it turns out that all of the Marvel cars and trucks seem to turn over on the day of our visit. Where in Walt Disney World was this? Our typical game. This was our challenge last time, and not a lot of guesses, but the ones that I saw were correct. This is, in fact, the former Wonders of Life Pavilion. So this is one of those interactive exhibits where you're meant to look backwards and forwards at this line here, and it would expand into words as your eye tracked back and forth across of it. So here's next week's challenge. Where in Walt Disney World was this? Leave your answers in the comment section below, and we will let you know next week if you were right or wrong. Now, I do have something else to talk about with this final slide. Instead of just saying that you can pick up your Walt Disney World Earbook 2012, I'm pointing out that, in fact, now we've got the Walt Disney World Earbook 2013 for sale. So it is our collection of photos of what's changed, what's been added, what's been removed at Walt Disney World for the calendar year 2013. So it's early 2014, that's when we put it out, so we make sure that it is completely representative of the whole year. It's 66 pages, full color pictures, as you can tell by looking at the pictures here. It's done actually in a manner not too different from what you see on the page here, although not so mishmash with the themes. There's a whole page, for instance, on Princess Fairy Tale Hall, and a whole page on the Rapunzel bathrooms, and a couple of pages on the DVC the villas at Grand Floridian, and so forth. And so that you get kind of a walking tour. It's meant to be like a yearbook of changes, so that years later you can look back and see what changed that particular year. So it is available on Amazon. We're looking into the Kindle version, might be available shortly thereafter. At the moment, it is available only on Amazon as a print book. It's full color. $12.99 is the full price. Amazon usually has it on sale. It's $11.69 or something like that today. So have a look if you're interested, and thanks as always for your attention. We'll catch you guys next time.